Hello everybody, my name is Blue Jay. Welcome back to another episode of Jay Completely Makes a Random Video, completely confusing the algorithm of YouTube to the point where they should just give me an award for the most diverse content. Yes. Hello everybody. It's actually really fun to be back here talking to you guys. It's been a long time. It's been long time. It's been 2 years since I've actually done this and talked to you guys physically about a certain topic that we're going to get into a little bit later. 2 years ago, I made this video talking about the release of my book. Look at me, my youth, my cringiness, acting like a schizo, because if you guys watch that video, I talk really weirdly, really fast. I also talk with my hands really weirdly, like this, because I had no idea how to emote on camera, because I want to keep your guys' attention. I thought it would be better than just sitting here, staring at you guys stoically, talking for 15 minutes. But then I kind of did that for my second video, talking about how I got into writing. But that video, I did that, it was kind of weird because I'm there, I was trying to stay still, not do all these weird hand motions, but what I ended up doing is constantly scratching, moving, acting like an ape because I don't know what to do with my hands because I might have ADHD. Do I for sure have that? I don't know. Who knows? Life's life. So why do I bring up my two old writing videos? You guessed it. You read the title. You read the really cheaply made thumbnail. Today's topic is about writing. Specifically, why being a self-insert writer is not bad. But there is a very big but, a very big BUT on the second half of this video, because there are exceptions to this idea I'm bringing to the table. I believe it is not bad to be a self-insert writer. Why do I say this? Not really from a biased point. I understand people's point of view, but people need to open their minds a little bit more, open their eyes a little more. Everyone needs a little bit of understanding. Even you people that do self-insert writing, everybody needs to have a little bit more understanding of self-insert writing and etc. So some of you may be asking, why am I qualified to talk about writing and self-insert writing and etc.? So some of you may know, some of you may not know, probably a lot of you may not know, I am actually a writer, technically an author. I have published a short novel. A short novel is a shorter book, but not as short as a short story. So a short story is about 1 to 5 pages. A short novel is about 10 to like 30, 40, 50, around there. And then a full-length novel that you guys probably used to are about 115 and more. My books are about 60 pages to 115 pages. And those are what I write. They're called short novels because they're relatively short, but I also write a lot of them. So that kind of makes up for it. I also am a self-insert writer. I've been doing this for almost a decade. I'm a self-insert writer. Why? If you don't know, I did a video about it, how I got into writing. And the reason I'm a self-insert writer is my writing came from those, when you're a kid, you make those worlds, you put yourself into them and all that stuff. That's where I got my writing from. And the reason that I'm a self-insert writer is because I want to stay true to that, to where I came from in my writing. My writing came from me putting myself in those worlds, imagining them. And so I wanted to be a unique writer, and that's kind of unique. No one really does what I do. They don't make every single main character, every single one of their main characters for each different story themselves. I'm unique and I do that. If you try to do that now, after I've already been doing it, guess what? I have receipts. I'm the one that's doing it. So you're not special. I'm special. Fuck you. Anyway, so before I get into the next part of the video, because I kind of want to do this in 3 consecutive parts within the video of how I got to writing, why I do it, why it's not bad to be a self-insert writer, and then how to do it wrong. I want to continue and explain why I write, just so there's a bit of clarity, because a lot of people may be asking, well, if you write self-insert characters, why do you publish it? Why do you share it? What do you face with it? So I do get a lot of criticism, not a lot actually, now that I say about it, but I have gotten it from people saying, you make all your characters you're self-centered, you're full of yourself. For one, I'm not really self-centered, don't really have ego. The one thing I promised myself when I started writing this fashion, I said I'm gonna keep my ego out of it and try to make good stories. And the reason I publish it and why I want to publish it is I know a lot of people are saying, oh, well, so you have a bunch of characters that are just you in these universes and they're strong, or they do this and that. Isn't it just a fan fiction? It's not fan fiction because I write original stories. And the reason I publish it is because I do like entertaining people. That's why I do YouTube. That's why I'm a film major. That's why I'm going to the film industry. Because I just like entertaining people. I like getting a little laugh. I just get kicks out of it. Do I get sexual kicks out of it? Who knows? Maybe. I'll never tell. But that's why the reason I want to publish this stuff is because I want you guys to have open minds and, you know, get lost in different worlds. And I mean, some of this stuff, maybe things that you guys have thought of and you just want to read it. And, you know, they're quick reads. And they're bringing you into new worlds, new concepts. Maybe not entirely new, because there are familiar things that I have in my worlds. Because I get inspiration from a lot of things from growing up. A lot of movies and shows and games that gave me inspiration to write this stuff. And that's why it all comes together. So that's why I write and publish, or going to publish, because I'm doing a lot of big reworks. If you guys actually saw my first video of writing, it's actually now labeled outdated. And if some of you may have seen that my book's actually taken down, because I'm doing some really big reworks to add to the story, add to the lore, deeper, better. I get better at writing every year. So I just want to change a lot. I want to make it all better. And that's why I'm releasing it and talking to you guys, because I like entertaining people, all right? I get a kick out of the laughs and people's joy. That's why I'm going to the film industry. And that's why I'm talking to you guys here now. That's why I'm publishing books. And that stuff about an ego or being self-centered, I wanted to stay true to my writing, and that it came from my mind, me being in those worlds. That is why I do the self-insert. Are all my books going to be self-insert? I know I said a bunch of my characters are. A lot of my different series are. But I feel like it's more of like the main three of my main three series that I do are going to be me, the big three. But I do have ideas for different characters that are not me. I have some iconic ones that you guys may have seen on this channel that I've actually turned into characters and books. But that's why I do it. And that's why I want to do it. Now, are there elements in these books that I write that I have myself in that are a little weird? Yes, but we're going to get into that later in the video. So let's move on to the next part. So, why is being a self-insert writer not bad? Okay, so inherently, if you look online, unfortunately, all over YouTube, you know, if you look up self-insert writer, you'll see a bunch of videos. Hopefully this video will be there soon. A lot of people talk shit about self-insert writing, self-insert writers. Reddit too is a little bit odd about it, and their website saying don't do it. Now I can understand why. There's a lot of stigma about it, because, you know, people do make Mary Sue's and Gary Sue's. They make the perfect character because it's them. I get that. However, that's how you ruin a good character, a good book, is with the Mary Sue. That's what turns people off for self-insert writing. Is you might have a really good world, really good story, but you make your main character a Mary Sue or a Gary Sue, depending on if you're a guy or girl. Yeah. So how do you fix that? How do you make a good self-insert book? Here's how I do it. It's very simple. Give your characters flaws, and give them a lot of flaws. Give them so many flaws that people think that you are a sadistic masochist. Make your character, that is you, suffer. Why? Because people have flaws. You have flaws. I have flaws. Everybody has flaws. And if that character has flaws, people can connect with them. Make them an understandable character. So these flaws can range from a lot of different things. And that's how you make them good. Give them such as anger issues, fear, lack of understanding. Maybe they're dumb. Maybe they feel the regret from all their actions. That's what I do. My characters do it. A lot of my stuff is action. So they feel a lot of the weight of what they do, whether it be killing, destroying, etc. They feel, you read it. And the way they talk in their mind is they regret. They feel the weight of everything that they've done. And then you can understand that. You read it, you read what's unfolding, then you see inside their mind, and you can understand it. They have that fear, they have that regret, they have that anger from what they've done, what they've seen, what's happening. That is how you make a relatable character. Now, if you make a character that just kills everybody, moves on with their life, moves on with the story, then that's a Mary Sue. They're perfect, they don't care. They do it, no flaws, no repercussions. That is the second part. Flaws, also repercussions. they have to pay for their actions. How do I do it? My characters have a lot of mental problems. They have all that regret, they have that fear. They get punished for what they do, especially my main story. My main series, my guy goes from having anger issues, he fixes that, but he still feels that regret, that fear from everything he's done. He gets talked down to by people, but he feels all of it, and I write it out. I write how it feels. I put my mind in there, and I write it. And he feels every single ounce of regret, and anger, and fear. Even when he fixes his flaw, another one spawns. Another one comes in. Now he's fearful. Now he's hateful, regretful. That is how you do it. But one more time, repercussions. Those are the repercussions. Also, in the world, worlds need to have law and order. If you set up law and order, you have to have. If someone breaks the law and order, you have to have repercussions. In my main series, my guy does some stuff that's not allowed. He gets punished for it. He feels the weight. If he just went on killing everybody and nothing bad happened to him, Mary Sue, no one's gonna like it. But because, and of course you guys have to read it, but this is how I feel, that you guys are gonna like it because he gets fucked over. He has repercussions for his actions. Every single thing he does, there is a repercussion. And that is how you make a good character. At least that's how I feel. You guys can disagree. Feel free to disagree. But also, don't forget to make them different from you. Okay? Give them a slightly different emotion, slightly different takes on things, so people can disconnect themselves from you and put themselves with that character, and it'll be better. Because if you read my book and all you see is this face, and you're gonna think it's an idiot. I'm an idiot. You're not gonna like it. That's why I make them different. So that's why a self-insert character is not bad, as long as you can do it right. It's not bad because it's just another character. Like the way I write my characters is I can change their name and their look, and they would be the same. Why don't I do that? Because I get crap about I get crap about that. Why don't I do that? Because I'm trying to be unique. I'm trying to do something different, and I am staying true to my writing and who I am, and how I became a writer. So now consider this a clear division in the video, because I talked about why I'm a self-insert writer, why I write, why I publish, why I don't think self-insert characters are bad, and how you can do it right. They're not bad because they're another character, guys. Think about it. They're literally another character. And you gotta make it good. You are the one that can make or break with that character. If you want to do self-insert, listen to what I said. All right, try that, and also do look into it, because I know I did say there's a lot of bad shit talk about self-insert writing, self-insert writers, but there is a good amount of people that do talk good and how you can do it properly. So look into it. Listen to what I said, look into it, do that. But we're at the butt of the video. How do you do it extremely wrong? Here's how you do it very wrong. You make yourself overpowered. You make yourself the center of attention, the center of the universe. And you have really weird things going on, such as sexual content. Now, I do have sexual content in my self-insert novels, but they are not the focus of the book. They are literally, there's no sex in my main series until like the third novel, and it's like one scene, and it lasts 2 seconds. Not my character lasts 2 seconds, but like the scene is like 3 sentences. And that's how I personally do sex scenes in my books. They're like 3 sentences, because they're just a pinnacle moment of two characters' relationship, and then it moves on to the next scene. That's like, okay, now you know they're together, they're locked in, I move on. Now, of course, there are some weirder elements, because I do have, okay, how do I explain this? I do have polygamy in my stories, or not my stories, my one main series with my main character, which is, another version of me. Why do I do it? It makes sense in world. Because of his species, because of the power, it makes sense. I know it's weird. Why do I do that? I just had the idea ages ago, and I said, fuck it, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna make I want to have some goofy shit in there. And yeah, that's kind of goofy. But how do you do it wrong? How do I do it right? How do you do it wrong? Now, how do I justify it? first of all, my main character is actually becomes a prude. If you don't know what a prude is, it means you're not really like sexually active. He becomes a prude and then gets in a polygamy relationship with 4 girls. I made this up ages ago. I just want to keep it, okay? I know. It's still a good story. He has to conflict with 4 different girls. It's a tough task. Trust me, guys, it's read it and you'll understand it. It makes more sense in context in the way I'm describing. I just don't want to spoil stuff. It doesn't get weird, all right? People, this is why I'm talking about, I hate fan fictions. And why I hate being accused of fan fictions. I get, okay, so you do write a fan fiction. It's you, and you have 4 girls. 4 girls that are not really human. It makes sense in world. I have anthropomorphic characters, yes, I know. I will do a video talking about how to properly do anthropomorphic characters if you guys want. Because I justify it and it actually makes sense. It actually makes a lot of sense the way I write it. If you guys want me to do a video on it, just type, do it. Make a comment saying, do it. I will make a video talking about it, getting a little bit more detail on why I do it. I'll talk about it. And I promise the way I do it is not weird, okay? I'm not a furry, guys. I'm a certified furry exterminator. Is that hate speech? I don't know. We'll cross that path. I feel like I'm one of the few people that do it right. The way I justify it correctly. I don't just throw it in there, okay? I will get into that. But the reason why you can do it I do it right and people can do it very wrongly is because like I said, you make your character overpowered, center of attention, and they get all the girls. Now my character doesn't get all the girls in the sense that you think. It kind of just happens with the way the story moves. It happens. It's not like random really, but people do it randomly. Oh yeah, they get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, they go here, and there, and then they have the weirder elements that I kind of touch a little bit on, but like they do it really weirdly. And then the sex scenes make it worse. They make that the entire story. My sex scenes are literally happen once, or they're just referenced by the character. They happen once, and it's like 2 sentences. I just realized. Let me actually read it out for you guys. Let me read one for you. Okay, so I will now actually read you guys a little excerpt from one of my main series. I have pretty much 3 main series that I'm writing. I have one big one, which is my favorite, which is the one that's being published. That was published, now I'm taken down because I'm reworking it. And then I have my 2 other ones. This one, I'm gonna read you a short excerpt from it, just to show you how it's kind of different. Now it starts off with like just kissing, you know the sex scenes, they start talking and they're kissing, then they lay on the bed. That's what happens. So, they lay on and one gets on top of the other, and now they're just kind of talking for a second. I smiled and we continued to kiss. The moon was full and high above the clouds, lighting the sky. Moonlight peered through the window, allowing me to see glimpses of Blank's body in the dark. I could see every detail, especially her beautiful face. Words couldn't explain how I felt with her, but I could try. For the first time in a long time, I felt love, real love. That's it. It's a little bit more about talking about emotion, because this novel is about anger and hate. So now the person's starting to feel more love. That is what I wrote. There's literally just talking about kissing, and then one gets on top of the other, and then they just talk, and then it moves into all the moonlight stuff. That's it. That's all there is. Unlike fan fictions, which are, in short, all of a sudden, I shoved my into the fuck. And then So yes, please don't do that. If you are a self-insert writer like me and you want to have sex scenes, short, simple, it has to be about emotion. It has to be a pinnacle of the relationship. It has to be about emotion, okay? It cannot be you describing every little detail of what's happening for like 3-4 pages. Because I've watched videos talking about fan fictions. You fuckers are weird. I don't even get into that detail. I just say, oh yeah, one got top of the other, kiss, kiss, Emotion, talk. It's all about emotion. It's all about connecting. That's what you need to do. Don't do what other people do, please. And also don't get the details if you do. Please. No one wants to read that. I don't go into details. That's how I justify it. I don't do fucking details of, don't do that. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I believe a self-insert writer and self-insert writing is not bad. It's just another character, and if you do it right, it will work. Just don't do all the other weird stuff. If you have something about the character that's interesting or large, justify it. Don't just have it as a weird thing. Don't give them some special ability that pops out of nowhere. Justify it. Lead up to it. That's why I do it. My character can do some interesting things, but it doesn't just come out of nowhere. I justify it. I reference it. I do a lot of foreshadowing, a lot of build-up. And the build-up it's not even just one book. It's several books long, the build-up. And you see it, so you understand, oh, that's why it's happening. It's not just out of nowhere. So that, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Keep an open mind about this stuff. I know one or two of the things, the polygamy, the anthro stuff, may seem a little weird. I get it. Trust me. I will, like I said, you want comment, do it. Comment, do it. I will do a short video talking about it, how I justify it, how to do it properly. So anyway, that's all I have for today for you guys. As I said, hope you enjoyed. Like, comment. Let me know what your opinions are down below about self-insert writing, about world building. If you guys want, you can ask me about the furry stuff, and the polygamy stuff. I'll talk about it. And like I said, it sits in there, causes me pain. But I said, for the story, to make it a little bit more flair, it makes sense. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video. Thank you.